Guys, how are we doing? And welcome back to another full card breakdown. This is the Fighters Forecast. It is your boy Tennant speaking, and we are here to break down Mike Malott versus Gilbert Burns. Guys, if I sound a little bit different, it's because I'm sick right now. So I'm trying to push this through for you guys to get it out. We did very well last week with our picks. A couple dogs we picked: Carlos Alberg, Cub Swanson. Carlos Alberg won with one leg, which was really nice for us, I'd say. I told you guys Yuri is not defensively sound enough to deal with a guy like that. He was not, even if Carlos Alberg was nullified. He still found that kill shot with the left hook, and he got it done. And yeah, it was a great card overall. Probably one of the best cards I've ever watched. Probably a top three card I've ever watched. Just based off matchups, off action that we saw, finishes, banger fights like Josh Hokick and Curtis Blades. Just a fantastic card in general, and we did pretty well as well. So we're gonna keep that momentum going into this card. I'm not gonna lie, guys, though. This card is pretty trash. Now, I'm not a guy at all that likes to dog these cards. I usually love Apex because fights are better than no fights. You know what I mean? But this card feels like it was slapped together by a 5-year-old with no name people no one's ever heard about. I believe there's like six the UFC debuts no one's ever heard of. Tons of crap matchups, lots of girl matchups. You know, an event like this overseas to be headlined by Gilbert Burns is embarrassing. I think this is the worst card put together on paper that I've ever seen in the UFC, and I've been watching the sport for many years. Um, you know, it is still fights though, so it is what it is. But honestly, this is one of the worst cards ever put together by the UFC. But we're going to take that negativity, we're going to throw it out the window. We're going to break down this card to make some more money for you guys. This will be a full card breakdown. Next, you will see is the Hammer of the Week play. We had a lot of great ones. We had the Ulberg there as the Hammer, Cobb as the Hammer, and we had Mateus Gamrot and fight to start round two in the Carlos Ulberg fight. Sadly, that one didn't hit, which sucks. But we went 2 for 3. But I did say to you guys, I'll be transparent. I did say that the one I am the most confident in was Gamrot and the fight to start round two. That one did not hit. But if you did tail all three, you're up money for sure. So there you go. But, without further ado, here is the full card breakdown for Mike Malott versus Gilbert Burns in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Where your boy's from. I'm from Toronto, not Winnipeg. Fuck Winnipeg. But you get the point. We're from Canada. Let's do this. Like always, guys, we start from the bottom and work our way to the top. First fight on the card, we got Jamie Siraj against John Yanez. Guys, it's a very low-level fight. Jamie Siraj pretty much just slapped on this card because he is Canadian. He's got some decent wins on the regional scene. He's a decent wrestler, but he also has good combinations as well for this 135 division. The guy's very tight in there in the boxing range. He loves to throw a 1-2 and then a hook behind it. But in this matchup, he is going to win solely on his wrestling ability. I did some tape study on the guy. I said, can you wrestle? Yes, bang. Because John Yanez sucks in the wrestling exchanges. This guy is trash in the wrestling. He's got great hands, though. He has good speed, good power for the 135 division. But on the ground, this guy is such an amateur level fighter. It's not even funny. So Jamie Siraj is going to be the pick. I believe he wrestles early. I believe he gets to the ground. I believe he gets a submission or a ground and pound victory because John Yanez is not good on the ground. Next fight. This could be fight of the night, and it's this early on the card. It is Sexy Maxi John Castaneda against Mark Vologden. John Castaneda, we know who this guy is if you've watched UFC for the past couple of years. He's a seasoned vet. He's a very complete fighter. Has great BJJ accolades. A nice little 1-2 down the pipe. John Castaneda's good at. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of John Castaneda. I don't think the guy's that good. I understand he is a UFC staple. He is a guy that's been around for a long time, and that is for a reason because he does win the fights he needs to. He's a pretty complete guy, decent wrestling, decent striking combinations, but he's going up against a guy in Mark Bologden who had one of the craziest fights we've ever seen on the Dana White Contender Series match or cards. Mark Vologden fought Martinelli, I believe his name was. They went to war. This was one of the first time Dana White handed out two contracts for the same fight. The loser, which was Mark Vologden, got one as well. An absolute banger. If you have not seen it, look it up. Martinelli versus Mark Vologden. It's an absolute banger fight. They just started throwing. Lots of cuts and blood everywhere. Both the guys showed the amount of heart and grit they had. But Mark Vologden's a very small dude for this division. I believe he could make 125. He could make flyweight. But in this division, he is small. But Mark Vologden has tons of volume. He's got good power. He used to be a karate champion, I believe, back in his homeland of Russia. The guy's got great striking, in my opinion. He's got decent takedown defense as well. Some pretty good cardio as well. So it's going to be a very good matchup. I believe these guys are going to be stalemated of each other. They're both going to be trying to do stuff. It's going to get defended, and it's just going to be an absolute war. They're going to be striking back and forth, trying to go with transition wrestling. I think they match each other extremely well. And in my opinion, I'm going to go with the guy who I've seen have more grit, have more toughness, have better striking. I'm going to go with Mark Vologden in this matchup as the underdog. Not a lot of dogs in this card that I like, but Mark Vologden is one of them. I just am not a John Castaneda fan, and Mark Vologden has showed me he will fight for my money. So give me Mark Vologden in this matchup. Next fight is a fight I'm staying far away from because Mitch Raposo is getting disrespected here. Mitch Raposo is a good grappler. His striking is coming along. It's getting better and better every single time he steps in the octagon. And he's fought some absolute killers in the 125 division. He's been in there in deep water, just thrown in there against some of his other competitions. But Mitch Raposo is a good wrestler. He's got decent striking as well. He's fighting a guy in Alan Nascimento, who's a very good striker as well. Decent wrestling, I'd say, but I'd give the nod to Mitch in the wrestling department. Alan Nascimento is levels above on the feet here in this matchup, in my opinion. I think he can stuff the takedowns of Mitch Raposo, and he can just keep this fight on the feet, and he can strike away, and it'll be piecing up Mitch Raposo. But if that does not happen, and Mitch Raposo gets the takedowns, this is a pick'em fight. I understand Alan Nascimento beat Jafal Filo in the wrestling in the BJJ, which was very surprising. But Mitch Raposo's wrestling, if he gets it going, if he gets you down to the ground, he is relentless. He is a dog. He's got nasty ground and pound. But I believe Alan Nascimento, can stuff the takedowns of Mitch Raposo and he can piece this dude up on the feet. So give me Alan Nascimento in this matchup. But the Canadian girl wins, Jamie Lynn Orth. We're going to go Melissa Crogdon as well, the Canadian girl. If you guys think that's weird, I just skip right by those. I don't like to break down women's MMA because they're very, very odd, in my opinion. Like, the favorite never wins. The round lines that always goes over, and when you bet the over, it goes under. Very unreliable. I don't like to bet on women's MMA, so I don't watch it as much, and I don't like to break down stuff I don't know. But I do know Jamie Lynn Horth, and she's good, so I'm gonna pick her to win. But that's beside the fact. We're gonna move on to our next fight. We have Tanner Boser against Gokhem Sarakam. Tanner Boser sucks. Sorry, guys. He used to be okay in the UFC, but now he sucks. Tanner Boser's too old. He's always had decent striking, not great grappling. And Gokrim Sarakam is a very good wrestler, in my opinion. This guy is from Bellator. Good wrestling. He throws with reckless abandonment. The guy wings punches from his hips, especially when he feels safe in the octagon, which you will here, because he's going to feel safe. He can get the fight down to the ground when he needs to, in my opinion. Tanner has the more technical striking, in my opinion, but Gokram has the power. He's got the output. He has the wrestling. He's better almost everywhere in this matchup. I was surprised about these odds, minus 155 Gokram. I think people should jump on that right away. I believe the guy's going to win. I understand he's a UFC debut fighting a seasoned vet in Tanner Boser, but Boser looked like crap in his last matchup. The guy he was fighting could barely stand after the first round, and Boser couldn't even put him away. I think they called this guy up. They got him off the couch. They said, "Hey, you want to fight in Canada?" He goes, "Sure." They give him against some hungry prospect in Gokham, and Gokham's going to win this matchup by submission or by ground and pound. So give me him. Next fight, we have the Battle of the Trash. Robert Valentin against Julian LeBlanc. Robert Valentin, he's had a pretty hard stunt in the UFC. Torres Finney just wrestled him and just laid on him. Atiba Gauthier, just destroyed him. But the loss that doesn't sit well with me is Ryan Loder. Ryan Loder's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. But Robert Valentin chose to grapple against Ryan Loder. Makes zero sense. Ryan Loder is a wrestling coach. That is the only way he wins fights. And you choose to grapple him. It makes zero sense. If he just stood there and struck, the guy would have won. I don't understand what he was doing in that matchup. Sure, you could say you almost had a rear naked choke, blah 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 blah. But in the striking was his path to victory. So I hate seeing that in fighters. They don't know, you know, fight IQ. They have no fight IQ. You know what I mean? Like obviously, your coach should be telling you, "We're gonna stand with this guy. He's really good on the ground. You're way better than him on the feet. Let's stand." It didn't happen with Robert Valentin. The guy is not very good, in my opinion. Julian LeBlanc sucks too, though. The guy is trash. He's got low output, awkward striking style, decent wrestling. Um, this fight is so low level. I'm gonna go Robert Valentin, but it's not with high confidence. The guy's not good. Don't get me wrong. We're gonna go Robert Valentin, and we're not confident in it, to be honest, because Robert Valentin's got no fight IQ. He could try and wrestle when he could absolutely light this guy up on the feet. Next fight, we got Dennis the Menace Brazuca against Marcio Barbosa. Dennis is a good wrestler. The guy, when he wants to, is a good wrestler, but he's been falling in love with his hands recently. And I don't like that for him here. Marcio Barbosa is a monster on the feet. The guy's got massive power and massive output, especially in that first round. So if this fight is on the feet, pretty simple. Marcio's going to knock this guy out. But if Dennis wants to turn into an Nurmagomedov, he can win here. Mauricio has terrible takedown defense. He doesn't have great cardio. So if Dennis wins that first round by control and by grappling, he's very live in this matchup. But in my opinion, Dennis is too stupid. He's got bad fight IQ, and he's going to stand there and get knocked out by Mauricio Barbosa. Give me Barbosa in this matchup. Next fight, we got Thiago Moises against Gage Young. Moises, I'm not betting on the guy. He's not good. He just has BJJ. That's it. He's stiff as a board. A guy like Gage Young is a monster, in my opinion. I think these odds at minus 130 are ridiculous. I think Gage Young, in my opinion, gets this fight done with ease. Gage Young is the better striker by a mile. He's got decent wrestling, decent jiu-jitsu. Not better than Moises, but the wrestling is extremely close. The jits is not. Moises is better. The wrestling's very close, and the striking is not close at all. Gage Young's going to light this dude up on the feet, in my opinion. Give me Gage Young. Next fight, we got Jasmine against Carini. Jasmine's going to win. Her wrestling's going to be too much. We have Mandel Nalo against Jai Herbert. This is also a contender for fight of the night. Mandel Nalo is an absolute monster on the feet, but so is Jai Herbert. Mandel Nalo's got very clean striking, long striking as well. He loves to throw a long jab out there. His kicks are very diverse, very long. He loves to throw the back kick to the body and to the head. He likes to fight at distance here, but so does Jai Herbert. These are kind of mirror images of each other. Apart from Jai Herbert loves to fight kind of if he lands, he'll come in the boxing range very quickly and load off a combination of a 1-2-3. He's very good at that. But both these guys are masters of disguise on the feet. Mandel Nalo's got the better kicks. Jai has the better hands, in my opinion, here. I think the grappling is not going to be a factor at all. But I do believe you could say Jai is a little bit of a better grappler. But we really haven't seen Nalo need grappling, which is kind of a concern. If Jai does the tape study and says, let's just try and wrestle this guy, he could maybe. But that's not how Jai Herbert fights, in my opinion. I think Mandel now is going to be too much for him here. He has the better volume. He's got the longer strikes, the more powerful strikes. And I believe he can chop his legs into oblivion. That's going to be the key to this matchup here. Mandel now is going to open up. He's going to keep chopping the legs of Jai Herbert in this matchup. That's going to get Jai Herbert, less mobile. He's not going to be able to move and circle the way he wants. Now he's going to land his kicks to the body, to the head. Then he can land his jab and his straight. I got Mandel Nalo in this matchup, and I think the guy is pretty good as well. Next fight, we have Kyler the Matrix Phillips. I'll say that again. Kyler the Matrix Phillips against Charles Air Jourdain. Guys, if you listened to me last time and you put that same game parlay together, Kyler to win the first round and lose the second and third to Lock Dog, you would have made a shit ton of money. Like I said, Kyler Phillips has a great start in his MMA career, but he fades. The guy's got no cardio. I told you he was the better technical fighter than Lock Dog, but it wouldn't matter at some point. Lock Dog would march forward. He would get in Kyler's face, make it a mess. I told you guys to bet that exact parlay. And to those who did, congratulations. You know what I mean? That made me a shit ton of money. I think it was like $25 to $550 or whatever, just putting those three together. But Kyler Phillips, we know who he is. He got great striking, diversity. The guy's got decent output as well, but he fades. That's who Kyler Phillips is. The guy fades, he dies, the cardio's not there. And I guess a guy like Charles Jourdain, you know, Jourdain's great on the feet as well, and he has cardio. He's only lost to great fighters like Gene Silva, who you guys know I love and I'm very high on, and I believe he becomes champion. Um, Charles Jourdain in Canada, he's the better striker in this matchup. Close grappling, I'll probably give it to Kyler. But in a striking matchup, and we know one guy fades, I'm going to go the other way. Give me Charles Jourdain in this matchup. I'm pretty confident in him, and I think he gets this done. Moving on to the main event, sadly, it is Gilbert Burns against Mike Malott. Gilbert Burns sucks. The guy's done. And you could say, oh man, what are you talking about? He's fought monsters in the division. You know what I mean? Oh, Chimaev. Oh, Usman. Oh, Michael Morales. Oh, you know, it does not matter, guys. It really does not matter. Oh, but he was beating JDM. Guys, he hasn't won a fight in like 3 years. Gilbert Burns is done. He's washed. Mike Malott's not a bum. You know what I mean? He did lose to Neil Magny, which was embarrassing, to be honest. But Mike Malott's not a bum. The guy's got great striking. He's got good wrestling here. The only way Gilbert Burns wins this matchup is by submission. And Mike Malott's got great wrestling. He's got better wrestling than Gilbert Burns. So how Gilbert Burns gets to the back or gets on the ground and has Malott in trouble is beyond me. I don't see it at all. Mike Malott's the way better striker. I think he puts him away in the third round by KO. Mike Malott, he is Canada's highest ranked guy. I hope he continues to win. He is from Burlington. I'm kind of close by near Toronto, about 30 minutes away, I'd say. So, I'm cheering for Mike Malott here. This is not a biased pick. Mike Malott's the better fighter everywhere apart from the jits. Longer striker, better volume, better wrestler as well to get positions correct. He's got good weight distribution as well. So I think Mike Malott wins this matchup pretty easily. I know I picked a lot of favorites, but we have that one dog in Mark Vologden, and I believe he gets the job done. So that is the full card prediction, guys. If you've liked the video, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And the hammer of the week is going to come out very shortly. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.